Let's create a Mother's Day card with gouache and other mixed media on black paper. I used Canson XL black drawing pad 7x10, and I just folded the sheet in half.
With an acrylic marker, you will be writing the word mom on the front of the card. In your watercolor pad, you may want to practice painting some flowers, and then you can choose which flowers you'd like to add to your card. Most of the colors in your gouache set will have to be mixed with white, even if it's just a little bit, to just give it a brighter, more opaque consistency. It'll help the image pop on the black paper. I'm thinking, wow, I really like the color of these flowers, but we must remember that with gouache, they will dry darker, and the darker colors will dry brighter. So we have to think about that when it comes to painting with gouache. If you want, you can even add leaves coming out from the sides of the card in all directions. This design element really helped remove the borders of the card. It just makes it look like there's plants and flowers surrounding it. When the gouache is dry, now it's time to add details to the flowers and the leaves if you choose so. For darker flowers, you want to mix a white with one of the other colors so that you can have some contrast. Another technique is using a lighter gouache mix and lining out a flower or leaves, and you can also use metallic watercolors to get a really cool effect as well. You can also use your permanent pen and you can create details that way too. Here I'm adding another layer of the acrylic marker to make the mom text brighter. Remember, with gouache, once the paint is dry, you can add another layer of color, a complete different color if you don't like what you had before. When adding colorful detail, don't forget to think about the color combination. They should complement each other. You can also use a fine point acrylic marker as well for details. I didn't like the color of these roses, so I went ahead and added some yellow on top for highlights. Right here, I'm adding lighter pink highlights to my roses. I'm outlining these flowers with the white acrylic pen, and I'm outlining these petals. As I mentioned before, you can use the metallic watercolor. I used it here to create some outlines around the flowers. I added a leaf, more outlines to the upper leaves and the flowers on top. As you see, as I'm moving the card, it shimmers. You can see how it shimmers nicely. The metallic watercolors are really nice and opaque, so they really pop against the black background. So once you are done, you can go ahead and use the fine point acrylic marker and go ahead and write your greetings there for the Mother's Day card. And don't forget to write Happy Mother's Day on the inside as well. If you want, you can also add a little flower to the top of the inside of the card. You can add a flower to the left side of the card on the inside. Just do what you'd like. If you're interested in creating some really bright pink flowers, use your opera pink watercolors, not your gouache, but your watercolor opera pink, and mix that with some gouache. You can come up with nice pink pastel colors. If you're interested in a darker, brighter shade of pink, just add a very tiny amount of white gouache to your opera pink, and you can come up with this nice bright pink instead of a pastel pink. And don't forget to practice painting some flowers before you add them to your card.